Welcome to Gen Z Hoops, the Gen Z basketball, coaching, and sports business show. On this podcast, you'll learn from professional players, coaches, and executives from all over the world and see the court in a brand new way. And now, joining you courtside, your Gen Z host, John Hartofilis.
Hi, Coach Tyler. What's going on?
Just enjoying my afternoon down here. We got nice weather down here in Orlando, so just enjoying being down here. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, and best of luck to the Chargers. You guys start your bubble games over the next few days. Really looking forward to seeing you guys in action. Before we get into all the great stuff you're doing now with the Charge, can you kind of take us back and talk about the beginning of your coaching journey and what kind of set you on this path to where you are now?
Yeah, so I grew up the son of a college basketball coach. My father has been a coach his entire adult life, and that's been his career. So I grew up around the game, grew up in the gym, grew up around teams, players, coaches. So I think in the back of my mind, that was just always, I wanted to be part of the game in some capacity. And when I played for my dad at Bluffton University. When I had graduated from Bluffton, I was just lucky enough to get a graduate assistant coaching job at the University of Akron with Coach Keith Dambrot. And once I started there, it was just kind of the rest is I was in it and I'm going to stay in it as long as I can. So that's how I got started. I was at Akron 3 years, the graduate assistant two of those years, and then the video coordinator my last year. And just from kind of being in the Northeast Ohio area, I was able to kind of network and get to know some of the guys in the Cavaliers organization. And, 3 years later, 3 years at Akron, they had an internship open up, and that's how I kind of got my foot in the door. I was an intern with our G League team with the Charge for a year, and then been able to just kind of learn from some of these guys and really get my feet wet in terms of this whole coaching thing.
That's awesome, and it's going through the levels and being kind of staying in that Cleveland area, whether it's through Akron and then moving over to the Charge. What are the first kind of going into that transition of the college game to the G League game and seeing that firsthand? What was that shock like for you?
I think at every different level of the game, obviously the pace is what jumps out to you. The speed of the game jumps out to you, and then as you go up each level, whether it's high school, college, pro, obviously the size of the players and the skill level. So just, we had really good teams and really good players when I was at Akron, knowing how good those guys were and how good our teams were, then to see how big and gifted and talented and smart these players in the G League and NBA are, is just, that was the biggest difference. It's just everything's amped up a level in every aspect.
Definitely. And then over these last 3 years, the Canton Charge have seen a bunch of really high-level players go through there. The one that stood out to me, and I've had when I spoke to Coach Tabaldi, he echoed that statement of Sir Dominic Pointer and the impact he had for you guys. Obviously, as a defensive player, he plays both floors. I remember Sir Dominic Pointer because when I was in middle school, I went to a St. John's game, and he's the first guy I've ever seen dunk on someone else. So I kind of always have that in the back of my head. But what was it? I mean, for a guy like him, like seeing him get called up, what was that? What did it look like coaching him, and then obviously seeing his hard work get rewarded?
Dom's a prime example of. He was drafted by the Cavaliers and it didn't work out right away. He played in the G League, went overseas, and he's been back with us in Canton for this is his third year back. And just, it's great to see him get back on an NBA bench for a stint because Dom's the same no matter what, whether he's coming off the bench starting, plays 10 minutes, plays 32 minutes. He just loves to play. He's a great teammate. He's coachable, just a great guy to have on your team. And obviously, like you said, he's a home run hitter, right? He's going to dunk on people. He had a block on, I think he was on SportsCenter top 10 twice last year. So, he can definitely change the game at any point. But yeah, no doubt, just definitely great to see him just get an opportunity to go back up and be on an NBA court for a short stint last year.
It's also thinking about past guys that have really been able to show what they could do and get called to the next level. Who are some guys who can we expect as fans to see on the Charge this year really start making noise?
Everybody. I mean, and I'd say that in all seriousness. Like we have 12 guys that could probably all start for G League. The difference this year is with only 17 teams being down here. There's less roster spots. So so these rosters are full of guys that could probably all be on NBA rosters or every roster I've seen down here is just loaded with talent, loaded with great basketball players, great guys. So yeah, I mean, honest to God, I could see any one of these guys really making a jump within the next year or two.
That's great. And then thinking even further back, it just came to me about how the time you spent in the G League, you were kind of there for that transition from D League to G League. What did you kind of notice being the really new changes to the league when that change happened, when Gatorade came in?
So my first year, I was as an intern here in Canton. It was still the D League, and then transitioning from my first year to second year is when it switched to the G League, the Gatorade League, and you could just definitely tell the commitment from the league, from the NBA, and the owners and the front offices to just provide these G League teams with more resources, invest in them more, and really expand and grow the G League as basically a mini NBA. And I think you just look around the league throughout the last 4 years as the Gatorade League, you've just seen everything improve. Everything's always getting better. Situations for the players constantly being upgraded. So it just goes to show you the great job that the league has done investing in developing these young players and using it as a resource.
100%. And then a lot of casual fans kind of forget how intertwined the two leagues are, whether it's the NBA teams and the G League affiliates. So can you kind of touch on how you as a coach over these last few years have been able to both learn from people in the Cavs organization and kind of work hand in hand with them?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you said, we work hand in hand with them, and we basically try to simulate everything that the Cavaliers do, because at the end of the day, we're here for the Cavaliers. So we run the same system, the same plays, same defense. We have the same, team philosophies, etc. Because not only are the Cavaliers, especially with the two-way contracts now, you guys coming down, going back up. Again, that's what we're here for, to provide a similar environment and atmosphere as to that of what it is in Cleveland, so that guys can come down and get experience, and then when they go back up, really nothing changed. So like at the end of the day, we're here for the Cavaliers, and we're here to help them develop young players, and so that in a year or two or three, they're producing on the floor for them up there.
Love it. And it's great to think about that. And when thinking about kind of that promotion from G League to the NBA and all these networking opportunities, you've done a lot of great work with Hoops Informer, this Discord channel that you've started. And it's a great resource that I've learned so much from. What have the steps you kind of taken in starting that and populating it with such great information?
Yeah. So just to kind of give a brief description, Hoops Informer, it's a networking and resource platform for aspiring coaches and basketball professionals. I think back to 8 years ago, when I was just trying to get my foot in the door, trying to build a network, trying to learn from whoever I can, and I'm still doing that today. But thankfully, I've been lucky to have been involved in this organization for the last 5 years. But so when younger coaches or people that are looking to network or looking for information, I've always made it a point of mine to just try to reach out to them and guide them the best I can. And so because of that, I decided just to start a platform where people can connect. I can provide resources of information from what I've learned from other people in my short journey up to this point. And it's also an opportunity for me to continue to learn from other people as well. So it's interactive. We just try to provide weekly resources, whether it's, X's and O's, player development nuggets, evaluating, analytics, anything and everything that has to do with with the game and the basketball industry.
Super excited to see all the developments going on there. And where do you see yourself taking it with Coach Austin in the next few months or so, being that it's so new and you've already been able to have on some really cool guests and post some really engaging content?
Yeah, it's hard to say. We're just trying to again meet as many new people and learn and provide information for as many new people as we can, and build our network and help other people build their network. And so it's really just open-ended. We just want to connect and keep learning and helping other people learn.
That's awesome, Coach. And then what's the best way for people to get in touch with you to find out more about this?
I'm on LinkedIn. That's a great way to just shoot me a message, and I'm happy to meet everybody and anybody that'd be interested, and then we can go from there. If anybody's interested in joining our Discord server, Hoops Informer, the best way would just be reaching out on LinkedIn. And it's just my name, Tyler Neal. And I don't think I have a beard in my picture on there, so that might throw you off a little bit, but I think you could put 2 and 2 together.
It threw me off a little bit when we jumped on the Zoom, but I realized it was definitely the real you for sure. So Coach Todd, thank you so much for coming on. This was awesome. And I learned so much just hearing from you about obviously your pathway through getting to the league. And then obviously I can't wait to learn all this more information through Hoops Informer. So thank you so much.
John, thanks for having me on. A lot of exciting things you're doing and have going on, and keep up the great work.
Thanks for listening to Gen Z Hoops. Make sure to follow, like, and subscribe on Instagram, LinkedIn, and all major social media platforms at Gen Z Hoops. You can tune in and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and every other podcast platform on the planet. Get ready for the next episode.